Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Job, the 16th chapter. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all. So he said, I've heard these things before, right? And you guys are miserable comforters. You're not here. You're not comforting me. Shall vain words have an end? Or what in both of thee that thou answerest? So will you ever stop talking? You saying the same things again and again and again. Like this is supposed to change something, right? Or what in both of thee that thou answerest? You know, what gave you this like it was some deep revelation that you just had to respond with. I also could speak as ye do, if your soul were in my soul's stead. See, so if the roles were switched, I could easily say the things that you're telling me. I could heap up words against you and shake mine head at you, just like you're doing to me. But instead, right, I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the moving of my lips would assuage your grief. So instead, I will comfort you. I will give you comforting words, okay? To assuage is like to abate. I will relieve you of your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged, and though I forbear, what am I eased? Okay, so if I speak, if I try to defend myself, my grief is no less than if I stop speaking. But now he hath made me weary, because thou, or Slaki, it says, but now he hath made me weary. Thou hast made desolate all my company. All right, that company goes into those that are around him, right? Let's go into that. Congregation gathering, which we know some of them were destroyed, i.e. his children. Okay, his wife basically was against him, as you can see, and he's gonna even describe some of the things he went through there. Thou hast filled me with wrinkles, which is a witness against me, and my leanness rising up in me beareth witness to my face. Right, so his skin was all messed up. He probably looked very, very skinny as he wasn't eating. And as it says, it's a witness against him because people see that and say, like, there's no way somebody that's innocent is going to be suffering this kind of judgment, from God. He teareth me in his wrath, who hateth me. He gnasheth upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. So he's saying God is treating him like an enemy, right? He's in his wrath. He's attacking him, right? He's gnashing upon him with his teeth. He's sharpening his eyes, constantly upon him. He's fixating his attention on him. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have they have gathered themselves together against me. And he's talking about those that are around him, those of his household, those that he knew, his friends. Now, it's not literally them smiting him upon the cheek reproachfully, but this is basically them treating him with contempt, right? Them not treating him reproachfully, which he likens onto being smitten, right? In NLT, it says, people jeer and laugh at me. They slap my cheek in contempt. A mob gathers against me. NIV, people open their mouths to jeer at me. They strike my cheek in scorn and unite together against me. God hath delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. Right? He's saying that because of, as he feels like I'm an innocent man and I'm suffering something and everybody's looking at me like I'm wicked. They're ready to condemn me. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. Right? So at one point I was living good. I was at ease, and now look, I'm all broken up. He hath also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. So he grabbed me by the neck, he shook me up, he set me up as a target. Once again, this is metaphorical speak, but it's like poetic and it's like vivid imagery, you could say, to convey feeling, because usually that's how it is, right? When you try to express feeling, right, not just recording events but feeling, you use these sort of vivid imagery of things that might not be exactly what it is, but it tries to invoke a kind of similar feeling in the listener or the audience. Because when you see that, you're like, damn, man, grab you by the neck, shake you to piece of shit. You know, that's like, damn. His archers compass me round about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground, right? Which is saying like the Lord's actions against him are like the Lord setting up archers about him that are shooting him with arrows, right? As it says, cleaveth his reins asunder. They're constantly, just piercing his body, right, with those arrows and not sparing any, and causing his as it says, poureth out my gall upon the ground. That's that internal wounds, okay? Because your gall goes, it's a part of your internal body. I believe it goes into bile or so. But here he's just describing, not literally, but what it feels like he's being attacked, right? He breaketh me with breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant, which that word giant goes into like a warrior. So in the NKJV, it says, he breaks me with wound upon wound. He runs at me like a warrior, right? And he lost his cattle, he lost his sheep, he lost his children, right? His household turned on him. He got these boils upon him. It's just like one after another after another. I have sued, and this is all his children, right? I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin and defiled my horn in the dust. And that sackcloth upon his skin being sewn is like, I've been in mourning so much, so long. It's like, because, you wear sackcloth when you're mourning, but he's saying it's like, I've sewed it upon me. That's how frequent, that's how constant I'm in mourning. And defiled my horn in the dust. And the horn represents like your power, right? Or at least here, like his dignity, his pride. That's all been brought down into the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. And when you read that in another translation, they have it like what do they call those? Like eye bags, right? Like you can see on his face, okay, that damn, this guy, he just looks like death, right? He looks bad. He looks very, like not healthy, right? He's not sleeping. He's not eating. He's just he ain't looking right. NIV, it says, my face is red with weeping, dark shadows ring my eyes. Not for any injustice in my hands, also my prayer is pure. He's saying, so all this is happening not for anything I've done wrong. My prayer is pure, right? I'm not, praying for wicked things. I'm not cursing the Lord. I haven't done, some blatant infraction of the Lord's requirements. O earth, cover not thou my blood. Let my cry have no place. All right, which is to say, allow me to cry out. All right, it says here, NLT, O earth, do not conceal my blood. Let it cry out on my behalf. When it says have no place, it's like saying don't limit it. Also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. Let's look at that as well. All right, it says, surely, NKJV, surely now, or surely even now, my witness is in heaven, and my evidence is on high. NLT, even now, my witness is in heaven, and my advocate is there on high, because he knows that, if there's anybody that can justify him, it would really be the Lord, because the Lord knows the inward and knows and sees past things that man doesn't. I mean, that sees past things, that man doesn't see past. My friends scorn me, but mine eyes poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. So if only, he's saying here, if only we had a mediator, one that can actually plead for, and it's interesting because we actually do, right? Which the Lord ended up sending Yahushua. But as Job is saying here, if only we had somebody that can actually, intercede on our behalf, just like you have somebody that pleads in matters between neighbors, between men. But who can do that for us and the Lord? When a few years are come, then I shall go away whence I shall not return. And he's saying basically, it won't be long, right? Just some time longer, some years, more, and eventually I'll die and go, as it says, whence I shall not return, right? Eventually I'm going to die and go to the grave. And that brings us to the end of the book of Job, the 16th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.